Hello everyone, how's it going? Southgate Music here. Today I'm going to be talking about a subject which I've been meaning to do a video about for a while, and that is getting stuck in a rut as a musician, kind of having an idea where you want to be and where you'd like to be, but having something holding you back from that. And in my particular instance, I'm going to be talking about wanting to be someone who creates their own songs, to be a songwriter, to be a composer, producer, all that sort of thing, to do original music, but being stuck with a reputation of being someone who plays cover versions of other people's songs. And this is a rut I have personally been in, and yeah, it felt like I was really quite held back by it, because you do develop a kind of reputation. I mean, if you look back on my YouTube channel, pretty much 90% of my videos have all been me playing cover versions, and that's what I've done, despite having a real urge to create my own music. And I feel like that's kind of that time I've spent learning the words and the chords and structure and everything to other people's songs is a time wasted, because I could have spent it creating my own stuff. Now, it's important to say that there's nothing inherently wrong with playing cover versions. I mean, if that's what makes you happy and you're happy being there as a musician and that's what you want to do, then that's absolutely fine. But as someone who ultimately wants to be creative in their own sense, yeah, it's quite a place to get stuck in. Now, what do I mean by being stuck there? I mean, it sounds a bit absurd to say, oh, he's stuck playing cover versions, because why don't you just stop and do something else? And I think what it was for me is, it's where I started out. I taught myself guitar, didn't have any formal lessons, and I taught myself other people's songs. It started off with Nirvana, then it kind of went through White Stripes, Bob Dylan, Beatles. There's been sort of various phases of it throughout my development as a guitarist, but my main sort of source of learning was via learning other people's songs. And what this led to is kind of I'd play at open mic nights and things, but what I would do is I would play other people's songs. And when I hung out with friends, you know, around a campfire or whatever, I'd play other people's songs. And it kind of, what I found happened with me is that doing so, playing other people's songs all the time, that becomes expected of you, or that becomes sort of how people perceive who you are as a musician. And then it's hard to kind of let go of that. For instance, say you always play cover versions when you're hanging around with your friends. If you suddenly stop and say, right, I'm not playing other people's songs, I'm playing my own songs, it's difficult for them, because they might be like, play this song, play that song, do this, do that. And yeah, it becomes quite difficult. Like, they might get the songbooks out, say, can you play this song? Do you know this one? And it's hard to say no in that sort of social pressure type situation. And it's hard to put your own material out there in, like, say, an open mic night situation type thing. So I found personally, and maybe it's just something which is unique to me, something which is only a problem for me, is that I found that I'd spend a lot of my time just learning other people's songs, because that's what became expected of me. I'd sit there, and rather than learn scales or modes or different chords, or even just writing my own songs and developing myself as a creative musician, I'd spend my time playing guitar. I'd either be learning someone else's songs or just practicing performing someone else's song. And from my position now, I feel like I wasted a lot of time. I feel like there's hours and hours and hours of guitar time, which I could be a lot better as a musician if I spent that time writing my own songs, learning the theory and the scales and the chords and all the stuff that I could use to create my own pieces of music. And it's really, really only recently where I've got sick of that, you know. Well, it's pretty much what happened is I worked a load of overtime and I thought, right, I'm going to get myself an electric guitar. And up until that point, I'd been playing an acoustic guitar, which can be quite limiting in itself because it's hard to practice scales and things. Obviously you can do it, but an acoustic guitar lends itself to that whole campfire singing other people's songs thing. But yeah, I did all this overtime, saved up some money, got myself a guitar, an electric guitar, and then I got myself an amplifier. And at that point I started to abandon the just performing other people's songs as my practice, and I started learning more technique, creating more of my own stuff. And yeah, that led me to sort of become dissatisfied when I was in that context of people expecting me to be the cover musician guy, come on, sing a Bob Dylan song, do this, do that. That situation, it wasn't horrible, and I don't begrudge people for sort of expecting it of me, but I became dissatisfied with it, and I'd rather spend the time making up my own stuff rather than, pleasing whoever's listening to me. And I kind of realised that this is what I've always really sort of strove to do, but for some reason my time has just been taken up with this persona of someone else who played cover songs. And it's like, I realised that in order to be these musicians who I admire, I obviously admired and learned their songs, but you're not going to be a Bob Dylan or a Neil Young or John Lennon by playing Bob Dylan, Neil Young and John Lennon songs. That's not how it works. If you think that and all you do is learn those songs, you are going to be stuck. You're not going to, and if you aspire to be like them, creative musicians, you need to abandon that, I think. That's my opinion. So what I've decided, I think I mentioned it in a previous vlog, I've decided now that this channel I'm not going to do covers of other people's songs. Anything I do is going to be my own stuff, either an improvisation off the top of my head or a song I've created and written myself. And I feel like I have to do that. I have to put away this notion of learning other people's stuff and being a performer of other people's songs. I've just got to let that go because I feel it holds me back. And yeah, I suppose the reason I'm making this video is I imagine that there might be some other people who are in that sort of position. And I feel like the only way you're really going to be that guy who creates cool music, who creates the music that you imagine you can do in your head, is to manage your time and to spend your guitar practice time learning the things that are going to help you develop your own songs and writing your own songs, not learning other people's songs, because it just doesn't get you there. And as I say, I'm not out there to disparage the people who do that and love it. Those people who play open mic nights every day and love performing other people's songs and get a kick out of it. I mean, there is something to that, and obviously I enjoyed it to a degree. Otherwise, I wouldn't have done it for so long. Yeah, I'm not disparaging those people at all. I just think that where I want to be, where the vision I have for myself as a musician doesn't have any room for that. And yeah, it's just something I've got to let go of. So, and look, I said this before in the vlog I was talking about, I'm sorry for the people who subscribe to my channel because they enjoy watching me play covers of other people's songs. But hopefully you'll understand that my development as a musician requires me to let that go. And also, you know, I'd urge people who feel like they're in a similar position, like they're going out and seeing their friends or playing at open mic nights and things and playing covers of other people's songs. But inside, they aspire to be like the artists who wrote the songs that they're covering. I'll just say, you know, to those people, let go of that whole thing. Don't play covers. Focus on your own development as a musician. And, you know, 5 years down the line, you'll probably have a set of your own songs to play at open mic nights, which are absolutely brilliant. Yeah, so that's that really. Thanks for watching. Hope you found that ramble interesting or perhaps insightful. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think about it, whether you think it's useful learning other people's songs or whether you ought to just develop as an artist. Or what do you do? You know, do you think it's worth playing cover versions? Do you think there's anything to it? Do you think it's possible to be stuck in a rut like that? Is it just something that I've got stuck in, or I'm just talking bullshit? Yeah, leave a comment and subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more music related videos. Thanks for watching. I hope to see you again soon. See you later.